welcome back to the channel. Today we're setting up my bullet journal for February, and this month I decided to do a coffee theme with these different brown shades, and I also used this cute baby blue color to make the color palette more interesting. I know I'm definitely not the first one doing a coffee bullet journal theme, but I really love the color palette, and I think the little pop of blue makes it feel really fresh but still cozy. I took a lot of inspiration from the Archer&Olive December subscription box, from where I also got the beautiful gel pens for the setup, and later I also used some washi tape from the same box. I started my cover page by writing February in the center of the page with this pretty basic cursive font that I use all the time. I try to keep all the headers really simple because the doodles of this theme are quite detailed, so I try to balance it out with these smaller, more simple fonts. I chose a few different coffee cups and mugs that I repeated throughout this whole setup, and I drew 6 different ones on the cover page. And I also decided to outline the coffee cups with a Muji Gel Pen, which is something that I don't do that often, but I thought it would be the best way to draw the cute little coffee doodles and their details. You can find a lot of different coffee related icons from Pinterest, and that's where I got a lot of these doodles from. When I was done with the coffee cups and their little details, I drew these small baby blue leaves with the zebra Mildliner called Soda Pop. I also used the orangey brown gel pen to draw some coffee beans, and then I felt like the doodles and the small details were kinda all over the place, so I decided to add this rectangle, and I think it really drew everything together. Then I finished this cover page with these little dots and circles and just a few white details. We're moving on to my overview spread, where I have my monthly calendar, goals, some space to plan out the month, and other planning related things. I started this spread again with the simple header and decorated it with a couple of leaf doodles. Under the header I did my calendar grid with a Tombow marker that I actually forgot to show you in the beginning, but the color is 942 Cappuccino, and the boxes are 3 dot grid spaces wide and 4 dot grid spaces tall. I also colored in the upper bar and used one of the brown Archer&Olive gel pens to write the days of the week and the grayish blue for the numbers. I crossed off the days that I won't be using from January and March, and to the left side of the calendar grid I added 3 coffee cups and little leaves and other decorations. Under the calendar I did a little section for my February goals, and I decided to use the blue marker for the outlines to add some variation. And I think the softness of the lighter outlines in these boxes Like really cute with the black fine liner in the doodles and in the headers. On the right side of this goal section, I left a little bit of space for more coffee doodles. On the next page, on the right side of the calendar, I did my weekly planning section. I used the bigger calendar grid to write down any events that I have, and these weekly boxes I use for different tasks or chores. I first wrote the header with the brown gel pen and then drew a little circle for the week numbers, but when I started drawing the boxes, I realized that the little circle wasn't in the center vertically, and it annoyed me way too much, so I just decided to cover the circles using a white acrylograph pen. And then I added the coffee-themed washi tape over that. I moved the week numbers to the other side of the boxes, and I was kind of surprised how cute this turned out, and I actually ended up using the washi tape again later in the setup. The small space on the right side of the weekly plan I used for notes and planning for March. Between the two blue boxes I did one more coffee cup doodle. You can definitely tell that I was still on vacation when I was filming this video, and I don't think my weekly spreads are going to be this decorative. The last planning section that I added for this overview spread is my Instagram tracker. On this tracker I track when I've taken a picture of a spread, when I've edited the picture, and finally when I've actually posted the picture on my account. But this tracker could also be easily turned into a progress tracker, for example for a school assignment. On the next page I did my February habit tracker. I started with the header and decided to use the gel pen to add a little bit of variation to the pages. I decorated the header with some leaves and then again divided my habits into daily habits and weekly habits. And this month actually I have more weekly habits than daily habits. I created 4 boxes, one for each daily habit that I'm going to be tracking, and I used the same gel pen as on the header for the days of the week, and I also crossed off the extra days from January and March. The 4 daily habits that I'm tracking this month are eating healthy, doing chores, not scrolling my phone mindlessly, and doing my evening bujo routine. Between these trackers I left some space to doodle more coffee cups. Under these daily habit trackers, I have my weekly trackers. I have space for 6 different weekly habits, and this month they are doing my weekly skincare and hair mask, going running twice a week, doing something related to my YouTube channel, memory journaling, and doing my weekly reset. Under each habit I drew 5 little circles, so there is one for each week in February, And once I've completed the habit, I'm going to be coloring that circle in. On the next page we have my monthly expense tracker, where I'll list all my different expenses that month. I did a similar header as on the habit tracker to keep these two pages more cohesive, and then I actually used the same coffee washi tape as on the February overview spread. I used the washi tape vertically to kind of create the sides of the tracker, and then did the different columns between the washi tape stripes. It's kind of hard to explain this, but you see what I'm doing here. I have a little space under the tracker to add the total, and then I did the headers for the columns, and I thought the washi tape was quite enough for decorations, so then I was done with the page. The last spread of this February setup is going to be my first weekly spread. I decided to only use one page for these first 5 days of February, and I'll use the other page for something else during the month. I first wrote the header and the week number and decorated it with a couple of coffee cups. I also added a border around the header with my Muji Gel Pen to match the cover page of this setup. Under the header I created a little box for tasks, and then I divided the rest of the page into 5 sections so I can plan for each day. I left the page pretty simple and only added some color with the gel pens, and that was it for this setup. I'm so happy how this setup turned out, and I especially love the colors. I'd love to hear what you think of this setup, and which theme are you doing for February? Let me know in the comments. Now let's do a little flip through of my February bullet journal setup. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!